What's that?
That's a, well, just throw it all in this bag. You're all gonna go to the store anyway to get gas.
There you go.
Get that head meat.
Yeah. You're meal prepping that, Fisher.
Oh yeah. That's how I'm gonna eat it.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I mean. You're getting it ready to pull straight out of the freezer. Look at that meat. Ooh, baby, look at that. That's a sushi roll right there.
That's white tuna.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to beat African pompano. Makes it way better too, and they're super fun to hunt. All right, y'all. Well, we are at the gas station. We've been here for a while. Mike left. Had to transfer some footage to his computer. Got a bunch of stuff from the gas station. Got more ice. You still got Fisher?
It's been a long day, Mama.
We're both worn out, and it's not over yet, though.
Finally get gas in the boat.
Yes, we finally got gas. Speaking of that, credit card thing went out. I had to go get cash from the ATM. Then that kept not working, so we've been here for the last 40 minutes trying to just get gas in the boat. All right, welcome back. This is the night of the last video. If you guys are new here, my name is bradensherron, and we're at a motel because we have been on the road, and tomorrow we are going diving once again, spearfishing. If you guys didn't see the last video, go check it out. That was today. We're going again tomorrow, and I just wanted to film this now since we're running and gunning in the morning. But trying to get Fisher on a big AP tomorrow. Got my biggest one today. Was about to pull the trigger on a big Cubera, but I just didn't think I was gonna be able to land it. It was a straight shot down, and I would have been sick if I would have shot that thing and had to cut the line. Long story short. But yeah, we are gonna crash here tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. We're sending it deep. Weather looks great. Fisher's gonna shoot an AP.
Oh, I'm coming out.
We're rocking and rolling. Headed deep. I'm pumped. Got a little confused swell today. All right, we made it out to the rigs. Hopefully the action is good. Looking for African pompano and any trophy caliber fish that tastes good that we can find. So not out for a meat haul today. We're really gonna be selective and hunt hard for those special fish. So. There's a peek at the water. Probably looks bluer on camera. I'm looking through the screen and it's a little greener. Got a bunch of jacks cruising through. But yeah, weather's great. Gonna see what we can get into. All right, here we go. Gonna go back to voicing over the underwater in this one, talk through my thoughts and the situations. Last video was my first time trying out a new underwater camera setup, and I felt like doing a more edited film-like format for that one. So hopefully you enjoyed that format. But for this one, we're going back to the more true to life, talking through raw style. So hopefully y'all enjoy. And if you do, remember, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out with the YouTube algorithm and helping us continue to grow. So with that said, I'm loading up here, rocking the double roller, 8mm shaft, slip tip, the big fish setup. I'm gonna have all my gear linked in the description if any of y'all are interested in what I'm using. And as I said in the boat, game plan for today is looking specifically more so just for trophy fish. Yesterday we got quite a bit of meat, so the remaining space in the coolers we do still have, we want to save for those special fish. So we're not going to go just load up on mangrove snapper, yellow jacks, stuff like that. Trying to get on some African pompano. You want cobia, and those are big fish, so we're going to need the space for them. I think I saw a dog snapper.
I'm pretty freaked out.
Okay. But upon entering the rig here, right off the bat, Fisher and I both think we spot a dog snapper. I see it initially. What?
There's a dog snapper right there.
And then he spots it here, but this time I don't see it. These things just somehow know how to disappear. But anyway, we just start diving. Fisher's dropping down here looking for it. He's never shot one before. I've never shot one in Texas, so that would be awesome. But Fisher doesn't see it, and it just seems to vanish. There I was making that grunting noise, making sure Fisher would look up and not run into that rig cross beam. And then here is my first dive. Trying to get a scope of what is hanging around. Just coasting. From the surface, you really can't see that deep, so I'm just trying to cover as much area with my eyes down here as I can. Got a big wad of mangrove snapper down there. Tons of jacks once again. But do not see anything we're looking to shoot. Here's Fisher's next drop. Just kind of looking out around the rig and you can barely make it out, but there's a mega Cubera out there kicking its way down and out.
Big Cubera. Yeah. I was like right over here, and he was a little deeper down under these cross beams where they cross again. And he just, as long as he was leaving, he just went out there.
It seemed like, and my best guess is that Cubera saw Fisher descending down before he saw it and just wanted nothing to do with him. Even from way out, it got out of there. But I go down here to check it out, see if that fish is possibly still hanging outside the rig or if it completely left. Just see if I can get some eyes on it. But it does not appear to be around any longer. Those things can be extraordinarily smart. From across the rig, they could see you and just dip out of there. But even if a shot did present itself here, already being at depth and over here in this open area, inside or just outside the rig, taking a shot on a big Cubera is flirting with disaster. That is really risky because unless you stone that fish or just near paralyze it, it's going to be tanking down like a freight train. And because it's so open, odds are it's not going to get hung up until it's way deep, deeper than where we can get to freediving, since the shot would have already been 70 plus feet down. So within the blink of an eye, that fish could easily be down at 150 and keep going down into the murk well past 200 feet, where inevitably it will get hung up. So we not only won't be able to get to it, but we won't be able to pull it up. So reason I'm actually going into so much detail on this is because I was really conflicted by this situation last video where I actually had a huge Cubera lined up over the top of its head, but where the fish was sitting, it was so open underneath and around that in the moment I felt it was just stone shot or bust. So I hesitated on pulling the trigger. If my shot wasn't going to stop it right then and there, I just felt that it wasn't going to end well. And also to mention, we didn't have scuba on this trip for extraction, so that was out of the question. But even then, it could still go too deep for that and or into that no visibility murk. But to start wrapping this all up, I do want to clarify, I am still conflicted about this shot. If you ask me, looking back, if I had a second longer, there's a good possibility I was squeezing that trigger off, because at the end of the day, there's always a great risk of losing these big Cuberas, regardless of how good the opportunity, the scenario is. These things are just so big and powerful that anything could happen. From gear failure, ripping your spear out, to diving down too deep into that murk, or heck, even if it was around a bunch of legs, it could still not get hung up right there and go too far down. I think you get the point. So maybe I should have pulled the trigger having such a good shot opportunity, but with these fish, you only get one chance. Once you pull the trigger, take that shot, you're never going to have a chance at that fish again. So the way I see it, I really don't want to be reckless the way I go about it. I want to be as sensible as I can in the moment. Do I think there's a good chance of landing this fish? How are my odds if I don't stone it? Because in that case, I didn't think they were very good. And the last thing I want to do is cut the line and lose such a special fish. Ideally, what I am looking for is that exact same shot, but to pull the trigger, I really want for that fish to be in or next to a big cluster of legs so that when it takes off, the line has a good chance of tangling and hanging up, stopping that fish from diving. All right, so back to today's diving. Fisher and I continue making dives here and scoping this rig out. And here shortly, you will see the $2,000 mistake, as the title states, unfold. So we make a handful of dives on this rig. Cut several of those out there. That previous dive, Fisher says he saw a smaller Cubera way down there. I look down but don't see anything. And then here, I spot 2 dog snapper amidst the school of mangroves. Line it up on this one. Good sized dog. And that is the first one I've ever shot here in Texas. But here it goes completely wrong. I get a muzzle wrap in my spear gun. Fish gets tangled in the rig. It's fighting hard. I clip on my belt reel. It starts feeding out. But then my belt reel locks up. And I've got to breathe. I pull my weight belt to try to drop it. Reel pops off and it's gone.
You couldn't see my gun?
Off of the surface.
I'm trying to make a dive and see if it's just floating.
I was swimming down there to help you, but you already let go of the gun. I saw you struggling. I was on my way.
You were gonna be able to grab it?
Well, I was still 10 feet above you or so. You didn't see me coming up.
So unfortunately, that was just a deeper dive, and fighting up a big snapper from that far down just exerts a lot of energy. I got the belt reel clipped on, but it was not feeding out easy. I was still working hard. And then when it locked up, it was just like a heavy dumbbell pulling me in. I had to get to the surface, so made the decision to ditch. But then, once I got my wits about me, I made a dive here just to go down and see if maybe, just maybe, I could spot my gun if something got hung up. And lo and behold, right there, my belt reel actually got caught on a barnacle of one of these beams. So I can't believe it. Now I'm gonna go back up to the surface and take a way better breathe up and head back down to go retrieve this thing.
If I would have known, I would have taken a better breathe up.
What do you do? That was like fighting a big red snapper, you know, tied to your belt, and it, from 75 foot, it kept getting wrapped up too, like on the rig. I guess whenever I finally let go, it got out. I probably could have fought it up, but all of that happens so fast. It's like, what do you do? Whenever your gun jams or when it gets wrapped up, and then you have this hard pulling on your belt and you're trying to swim up, it's like, dude, that happened so fast.
Why didn't it pull line off the gun's reel?
It got clogged in the muzzle. I guess the way I loaded it, it was my fault it did that, but the line just got wrapped up. My mistake with the gun tangle, but I mean, shoot, even the belt reel tangled, like.
Well, and in the moment.
In the moment, all you want to do is get to the
running out of
surface.
O2 and you're pulling hard. I saw you look back at the gun when you let go. I saw you look back.
And I saw the fish came out from being untangled, and I was just seeing a dog snapper attached,
Dude,
and I was like,
I saw you let go and then turn back again, and I really think like, that's a horrible thing to look at right now.
I thought maybe, I don't know if you had enough air to go and grab it, but
Well,
I mean, it was sinking.
I wasn't.
And you had to
I
look
wasn't
at me
breathing
too.
up. I was
so
just
yeah.
coming down to help you. You had let go at 20 feet under me.
Good news is, or cool news is, I shot my biggest dog snapper. First one in Texas. Bad news is, well, that sucks, but like, what do you do in the moment? In the moment, like, you can't think. There's no thinking. It's either get the fish up or drop your weight belt. If you're getting pulled on and it's jammed, you know, it's like. Anyways.
Just got out of the
From our
water
sponsor.
after taking the hardest L of the year.
But he's got beef jerky.
Cajun beef jerky, and it's pretty good. Tastes like brisket, doesn't it? Tastes like brisket. Tastes exactly like brisket.
But jerky.
Yeah.
Really good.